Good afternoon, everybody, and we're live. It's your boy Mark and MUFC fan here with the Transfermarkt, the transfer show, guys. Manchester United transfer news and some tidbits about the Premier League, other teams, and the players we're competing for loan deals, signings, and players leaving clubs. Guys, what are you saying this evening? Let me know what are your thoughts. Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Smash the like button. Comment and subscribe if you're new. Don't forget, that's how the channel grows. Help me grow this channel so that everyone gets to enjoy it just as much as you do when you get to have your say, speak your mind, and speak your views. Guys, it's one of those things where the Premier League it's really exciting this season. The top 8 teams are not too far between points, and it's gonna be an exciting one, guys. Let's see what happens. And let's get right into it, guys. And we're going to start with news of Manchester United. And the Manchester United focus is to move players out before granting Erik ten Hag's striker wish. This current ethos at Manchester United with the new 25% owners taking over are setting a new tone with the fact that they are saying to themselves, hear what, Manchester United fans and players, we're not going to bring in any new players. We're going to move on some of the deadwood, like Anthony Martial, and then we may bring in a player to replace him. It's not the same Manchester United. And let's see if these actions are true, and let's see if these actions make it better for Manchester United to do a job, guys. What are you saying? You know what I mean? Tell me your thoughts. Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about this direction that Manchester United are taking. Outgoings first, focus before we bring in someone. And I'll move right along. And as you can see on the thumbnail, Timo Werner. Timo Werner, the North London club, has jumped ahead of the queue with advanced negotiations to bring the former Chelsea forward to Tottenham. Guys, is this good things for Manchester United? Because I know a lot of fans like me didn't want to see Timo Werner wear the red jersey. But, could this be a blow? Because, you never know how players perform. Sometimes players have a bad 2 seasons at the club, then they move to other club and they're not doing so well. And then they get a move and suddenly they find the form that they've always been looking for. I mean, it happened to Mohamed Salah. So, you can just see his starling form at Liverpool. He's one of the best, probably the most undeniable right winger in the league for the last couple of seasons. But he was a flop at Chelsea. For 2 seasons, he flopped. And then he was moved on to Roma. He did some things in Italy. He came back to the Premier League and he was sensational. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking. Timo Werner to Spurs, hot off the press. Manchester United about to lose their loan target for striker. Guys, let's move right along. And I'm going to talk about Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting. And Choupo-Moting, as people fear, might be the next loan that Manchester United might be looking at. But fear not, as I've been saying all along. Guys, don't be listening. But the German league has different rules and regulations, and one said rule and regulation means that Bundesliga players who are nearing the end of their contract cannot be loaned if the loan ends the same time as their contract. The only way that Choupo-Moting would be able to leave the Bundesliga side is if the club was to terminate his contract this January window. Guys, Manchester United, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting is not likely to be a candidate because he cannot be loaned as his contract will expire this summer. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Obviously, we don't want any mercenaries like Timo Werner. We need to trust the youth. And, I would like to see either Joe Hugel or, the other youngster, Charlie McNeil, get their chances this season at coming down to the end. Because as we know, Højlund is young. He's very talented. He's shown that he could work hard. But at the same time, he cannot be left to shoulder the burden of scoring goals for Manchester United at 20 years old. It's never been done before. Not really. I mean, there's always going to be that starling player, but he's always showing up in a team where there are other players who are usually pegged to score ahead of him. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Manchester United targets, may some of them seeming to be slipping away, much to the delight of fans, I would assume, since Eric Choupo-Moting wasn't one of the players that, fans taken a liking to. Another player that fans might have a little bit of trouble with is none other than the former Barcelona striker, Real Madrid striker, Karim Benzema. But Louis Saha, former United legend, urges Manchester United to sign the French striker wanting away from Saudi Pro League club Al Ittihad. And Al Ittihad is one of those things where Karim Benzema is probably not enjoying life in Saudi Premier League. He's probably once away. So it may be a move that Manchester United can do with power, in the sense that they might be able to get him for a cheap fee just for 6 months to come in, help lead the line, probably give Højlund some advice and show him what a striker does, so he could learn on the job as well. I'm not too sure I might be totally agreeable with this. I think Karim Benzema has some kind of, qualities that might not be always, or something that a lot of Manchester United fans might appreciate. So, other than his footballing performance, I think there might be things that might keep him from coming to the club. Guys, get your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you are thinking. Would you take Karim Benzema at Manchester United for 6 months? Or are you like me, not too sure about it? Guys, let me know what you're thinking. And just in from Serhu Garassi, another target of Manchester United's, who are said to have a release clause of 13 million euros. Guys, we were supposed to be in for this striker, but a lot of teams are also in for him. And if you want to know, I'm going to let you know now that West Ham have made a late charge and have into advanced negotiations in talks with Stuttgart and the striker's team in a bid to beat Manchester United and Spurs from getting his contract in this transfer window. Guys, your thoughts on Serhu Garassi? The striker has exploded onto the scene this season with 17 goals in 14 matches, topping the German Bundesliga right alongside Harry Kane. Guys, what are your thoughts? Would you take this striker in January to assist the team, or would you not? Big up to you, Shay. Only one Eric needed at United. I agree with you, Stephanie Griffith, 100%. And Karen should have been our target in the summer, 100%, Stephanie. I totally agree with that, because I think if he was leaving, we should have got him. He would have been not as expensive as Harry Kane, but he would have allowed Højlund to learn from someone who's done it before. And he would have the respect of lots of the players in the dressing room, because he's always done it. He's one of those. Big up to you, Shay, Arsenal fan. How are you doing today, my buddy? What's going on? I heard Arsenal are not in for in anymore this season for what's his name, Ivan Toney. I heard that this price tag of 100 million is deterring the Arsenal faithful from making the purchase. I also hear that Arsenal is moving in on Olise for the January window. Let me know what you're thinking, man. I also heard that they're interested in Douglas Luiz, but I'm not too sure how that news is. Guys, this is the Manchester United show, and let me move on as I talk about Paulo Dybala, guys. Paulo Dybala, 10 million release clause from Roma this January window, effective until the 15th of January. Could Man United trigger this option? Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about this. Would you take Paulo Dybala at Manchester United, or will you not? What are your thoughts? I know the striker has some, history with being injured, but he's a guy that's very creative. He could even play at the 10, and give Bruno Fernandes that role where he can just be the deep line playmaker, maybe in the 8, and he could just be the one to help the strikers or even score a goal himself. I think this guy has a creative talent and ability that has shown. He has the class to he was always a top player, in my opinion. He might not be a superstar, I think, but his creative ability is something that I think might bring a spark to the Manchester United attack. And I think, he might help Højlund a lot, because he's one of those guys that's usually very, very good at linking up with strikers wherever he plays. So, what are you thinking, guys? Well, Dybala is a attacking midfielder, but he also plays at false nine. So it's one of those things where he's very capable. He can, make the front line a little bit more fluid. He could interchange with Hoyland. He could link up with Hoyland really well. So it's one of those things where I'm thinking at 10 million, it's not that big of a risk. You know what I mean? And if he does well, who knows? Maybe, in a few years' time, we sell him back for 10 million to some club like Fenerbahce or something like that. You never know. Another one of the targets that is looking very interesting, very, very interesting, that no one is talking about, that Manchester United have been linked with over the last 2 weeks, is Benjamin Sesko. And this is another forward from the Bundesliga who is also at RB Leipzig, the same with Timo Werner. And this 20 million rated striker has been following in the footsteps of Erling Haaland as he moved as well from RB Salzburg before, where Haaland also came from, is reported anxious and very keen on the PL. And due to the red hot form of breakout striker Openda this season at Leipzig, he has been unable to see any game time. Guys, what are your thoughts? I mean, Benjamin Sesko, guys, wasn't Manchester United after this youngster for the last 2 years, scouting him heavenly? You know, are we going to allow him to just wait there? We should definitely try to get a loan for this guy. I think he's going to come with a point to prove, not only to us but to his former club or his current club that he's at right now, that have him on the bench. But you can't deny Openda has been in red hot form. He has 14 goals in 14 games. It's one of those things. Guys, what are you thinking? Let me know in the comments. I'm telling you, Stephanie, I was thinking the same thing, that Argentinian link with Licha, and none other than young Garnacho also plays for Argentina. So you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Yes, Sesko depends on the price. Again, looked at before. I'm thinking, we looked at him, he would have cost us something in the region of 35 million euros, before, but he moved from sister club to the parent club. And, right now it's one of those things where it's an unfortunate thing, because he was supposed to be the top signing of the summer, but ended up second fiddle to a youngster breaking through the ranks called Openda, who came in for a lesser fee but has been showing amazing performances. So it's one of those things where I think, Manchester United could make, some kind of genius move right now, master stroke, by going in and getting this striker, because he's young, he's tall, he's very, very good on the ball, and he offers a different type of style to Hoyland, because he is a different player. He breaks out to the wing and pushes the wingers into the field and sends crosses in as well. So, it's one of those strikers where he's similar profile to Hoyland, but he still has his different ways. And I think he's very clinical when he gets the chance. Because as we know, I believe he plays for Serbia, something like that. And the last time I saw him play, he played against Erling Haaland, and he outperformed Erling Haaland when they played against Norway in the Nations League. He scored a goal and created an assist to win 2-1. So I think this guy is someone who can play on the big stage. I think he's up for big games. It's one of those things. So maybe Manchester United should take a look at him. But let's move on, because there are other little tidbits that I need to get out to you. And I was mentioning yesterday to everyone, Oscar Zambrano. Oscar Zambrano was given the green light by the Manchester United new ownership, to purchase him. But it seems that Bournemouth have emerged front runners to sign the youngster ahead of the Red Devils in this transfer window. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you are thinking. Do you think the Red Devils will lose out this youngster? I think it's one of those things. Maybe we should be, making some drastic moves, because this young talent we are lacking in the midfield right now. We should be getting him. We should not be wasting time and diddle-daddling. You know what I mean? But let's move on. Another centre back target that has been hot on the scouting search of Manchester United has been a young Lenny Yoro. The Manchester United hold former talks over the French-born Lille Starlets centre back. Guys, if you've not heard of this youngster, he's 17 years old, 6'4", and he's been emerging as one of the top talents in the French league this season. He has been towering above his opponents, dueling and winning most of his duels with 78% duels win. He wins 60% of duels in the air, and the guy has very good ball presence. He's very calm and he's very hardworking. A young, talented centre back, another friend centre back. I'm not too sure, but I think Manchester United is very keen on this youngster because the reports about him have been lighting up every week since the season began. Guys, let's move on to the outgoings of Manchester United. And as we see, Hannibal Mejbri is keen to join Spanish side Sevilla on loan. He has made his choice, and I think he's going to be off to Sevilla this week. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you are thinking. Exactly, Stephanie. We shouldn't be missing out on talent. Not heard of Oscar or Lenny, to be honest. Yeah, but Oscar Zambrano, I have mentioned him before earlier on some streams at MUFC Release TV because he was one of those talents that was having a breakout season in the in the Champions in the it's called a Champions League, but it's not the Europa Champions League. It's the South American Champions League really version, and he's been playing really well, and we have been scouting him ever since. So now it's about that time where he's ready to make that move and that step up to try to see if he can make it at the elite level. And also Lenny Euro, the reports are quiet on him. There's always been a report on Lenny Euro every other week with Manchester United scouting him. He's a young talent, so it's one of those things where United always scouts talent for like sometimes 18 months before they make a move. I think I would like to hope that United would not let the same thing happen that happened with Moises Caicedo when we let him go and he ended up going to Brighton for 5 million and now to Chelsea for 100. Guys, this is something United has to work on, because we also lost an opportunity this week as Marcos Leonardo, another young Brazilian talented striker that I was talking about for weeks, gone to Benfica for 20 million euros. And I'm pretty sure in 18 months, he's going to come to the Premier League for 120 million euros. He already has a buyout clause of 150 million euros set by the director of football, Rui Costa. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you are thinking. Newcastle now 2-up versus Sunderland. Very professional performance. We need to do this against Wigan on Monday night. And you know what? I wanted to watch the game, but I had to come live and I never really planned to. But let me know, you know what I mean? How is Joe Bellingham's performance? Guys, I was about to talk about him because Manchester United is heavily interested in getting the young Bellingham brother into the ranks to play in the first team from next season. I don't know if they're going to try to make a move in January, but guys, I think Joe Bellingham is a wonderful talent and it would be one of those things we should snap early. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you are thinking. Moving on to Jadon Sancho, and Dortmund and Manchester United finalizes loan ahead of Sancho's arrival to Marbella training camp in Spain. A multifaceted loan that will leave the door ajar based on his performance or resurgence over the next 6 months. It also depends on if Eric Ten Hag has the same energy for him when the loan is finished, as well as if Eric Ten Hag remains head coach at Manchester United. Guys, get in the comments. Let me know what you are thinking. Job is not doing too well in the first half. Yeah. I was worried about that, but let's see what the second half brings. I will definitely tune into the second half and see what Job's doing. Guys, let me know what you're thinking. Please make it sure and observe Joe Bellingham, because I think he would be a fine addition to our team. He has a very good knack for making runs and supplying passes into the box. He is very talented. And I'll move on, guys. Alvaro Fernandez. Could United be recalling this youngster to slot into the first team, or is he being recalled to be sold on the cheap? Guys, what are your thoughts in the comments as reports are coming out that Benfica are trying to get Alvaro Fernandez for £8 million and Manchester United are thinking about recalling him from his loan. We're not sure if Manchester United is going to recall him to slot him into the first team. since Luke Shaw is still not 100% fit, or they're going to sell the youngster. I would say United need to recall him and put him in the first 11. I think he's fit and ready to replace Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw should be on the way out of the club. A lot of people might dislike that statement, but I think he's not shown any levels this season. And it's been something coming because over the last 2 seasons, he has been losing a yard of pace and has always had a mistake in him. That's just my opinion. Sancho situation, yeah, Stephanie, I think it's one of those things that we need to resolve ASAP. He has a lot of talent, but at the same time, it does not give you the right not to have some responsibility and own up to your mistakes. And while he might be feeling the way he feels about Ten Hag saying that he did not train well, let's be honest, it's not that huge. And he was not homed in on or actually targeted in any way, shape, or form extra as opposed to anyone else. I've heard managers like Pep and Klopp criticize their players and they never received any results like this. Even Alex Ferguson has done it worse. Guys, are we being too soft on some of these players? Yes, I know Sancho has his, certain things that he doesn't like and whatever, but at the same time, you could only prove yourself on the pitch. You can't do it talking. This is not one of those things where he's not a telecommunicator. He's a footballer. So if he wants to prove the manager wrong, he should always seek to do it on the pitch. Any footballer, for that matter, should always try to prove their haters wrong on the football pitch. They should never speak to them with words because words, they're just words. They go with the wind, guys. But what you do on the pitch, is a result. You know what I mean? And let's move it right along. Anthony Martial as Fenerbahce makes an £8 million bid for the French striker. Guys, what are your thoughts in the comments? Because I think this is amazing. I hope Anthony Martial signs his contract and goes this January window. So maybe we can get in the youngster, jump in and take Oscar Zambrano back from Bournemouth and maybe get another cheeky talent in, maybe a loan of Benjamin Sesko, which is certainly reported to be not too expensive as it could be in the region of £3 million for the 6 months. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. And yes, Stephanie Griffith, I totally agree. Alvaro Fernandez should never be loaned. Quality player, huge fan. I am as well. I saw him over the preseason. I thought he was amazing. He has a very, very, very good engine on him, and he has the ability to drive forward with the ball. He is very press resistant, and he has the pace to go forward and recover. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Shea Arsenal fan is coming in big. Newcastle is up 2-0. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to expect it. I mean, at the end of the day, Newcastle are a Premier League team, and Southampton is Southampton. Southampton is oh no, Sunderland. Sunderland at the end of the day, they're in the championship. So while they might be performing really well in the championship, to play against a Premier League team should be a lot more difficult opposition as it is just, one of those things. I know it's the FA Cup, but at the same time, quality is quality, guys. Yes, Stephanie, Marshall needs to be moved on, and we will save 1 million per month on wages alone. So imagine if we get 8 million for him, that's 8 million plus 6 million. That will be a total savings of 14 million pounds. We can do a lot with that 14 million pounds right now, to be honest, if I'm going to be fair. And let's move it right along. And people know that it's been reported that Paul Mitchell is set to be announced as the new sporting director at Manchester United. But is anyone paying attention to his scouting in the last 6 months? He's been seen scouting Mason Greenwood. He's been seen scouting Giorgio Scalvini. He's been seen scouting Goncalo Ignacio. He's also been seen scouting young Valencia midfield ace Xavi Guerra. And at 40 million euros, it's expected that when Paul Mitchell is unveiled, Javi Guerra will be his first addition to the Manchester United project. He is very keen to bring him to England and the Premier League. Guys, your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever heard of Javi Guerra? I have. I've seen him play. He's very talented and he would be a very good addition to our squad. Currently, he would replace Ericsson in a heartbeat like that. Trust me, guys. Very technical, very combative, very physical, and he's also got a very, very good engine on him. He's kind of like a year older Hannibal Mejbri with a better sense of maturity for his play in the game. He's not a hothead by any means, guys. What are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Javi Guerra is actually one of those old school central midfielders. So he's a midfielder. So I would say he's a destined eight, but he's a hybrid since he's very good defensively. So he can probably play at six, but he's one of those old school midfielders that plays in the center of the park, can go forward, can drive with the ball, can break lines with his passing. He can also get a goal, but he is very, very combative and wins a lot of his duels with 78% win ratio in his current performance this season. Last season, he was one better with 79%. And the season is only halfway through, guys. So, you can see what we're talking about here. We're talking about a young player who's very talented and has all the makings of a top player. Guys, just to run back through what we've been talking about, we started here that mentioning that Manchester United will be focusing on the outgoings before they bring any supplemental players or striker for Eric Ten Hag. Timo Werner is in advanced talks with Tottenham Hotspurs and probably is going to be moving there very soon. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting is unable to be loaned by Manchester United because he is in the last 6 months of his contract, which expires in May, and he cannot be loaned as a Bundesliga player to any club if your contract is expiring in the same duration of time. Louis Saha has been urging the Manchester United bosses to bring in French striker Karim Benzema, who wants away from Saudi Pro League club Al Ittihad. Guys, what will happen? Do you think this is a good move? Serhou Guirassy is in advanced talks with West Ham, who have charged into advanced negotiation talks ahead of Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspurs for the German striker. Guys, Paulo Dybala has a 10 million release clause. Could Man United be triggering this option? What are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. And Benjamin Sesko, the other RB Leipzig forward, who has not seen any game time due to, Timo Werner, as well as the red-hot sensational form of Openda, is wanting away and wanting a loan, and the Premier League is very, very attractive to him. Oscar Zambrano is likely to sign a contract at Bournemouth unless Man United make some drastic moves in the next few hours. Guys, this is going to be a blow. Not too sure what's happening here. We should not be losing this talent. Lenny Euro, young French centre-back, targeted by Manchester United, heavily scouted by Paul Mitchell, one to keep your eye on. Startlet playing at Lille. He's been showing very, very good performances with 86% defensive ratio so far, one of the top CBs in the French league this season. Hannibal Mejbri is keen to join Spanish side Sevilla on loan, and it will be finalized in the next few days. Jadon Sancho off to Dortmund as Manchester United and Dortmund agree loan. Alvaro Fernandez possibly being recalled. Not sure if it's to join the first team or to be sold to Benfica. And Anthony Martial, Fenerbahce has made a bid. It's time for him to go. I hope to God that he signs that contract. Javi Guerra, heavily scouted by Paul Mitchell, said to be the first target for the midfield in the future project as he is unveiled as new sporting director. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm just running up the stream. I hope you guys are enjoying what's happening in the FA Cup today. Sunderland are playing versus Newcastle and they are down 2-0. But let's see if what this young Joe Bellingham could do what big Jude Bellingham does and bring his team back into the game. Thank you for joining me, guys. It's been your boy, Mark N. MUFC fan, with the daily update of the transfer market, sales, loans, and free agents. What is Manchester United going to do? And what are you all going to do about what's coming. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Let me know which players you think your club should be signing, what players you don't want your club to be signing, and what players you think your club should be removing from its starting 11. Guys, your thoughts, your comments. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a great day. See you later when I'm back later on with Drex and Daddy Olmo for the recap and the briefing on what's happening as Man United look ahead with the 25% investment. That show should be coming around 7 p.m. UK time, guys. Stay tuned. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you for joining me, Stephanie Griffith. Thank you so much. Guys, like, chat, and subscribe. If you're new, come on, hit that notification bell so you see when I'm live and can join me and get your comments and opinions out. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I hope you have a great day. Everyone, have a great day. GB, I didn't see you, bro. I was waiting for you today. Later, guys.